From Ruffino's on Highland Road, welcome to the Friday edition of Live at Lunch. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, Charles Handegrift, Jimmy Ott. Max Gotro back from his dental vacation. Max, how was it? Do you feel like you got hit in the face with a brick?
I did. Not as much as Arkansas did, but
okay.
Almost.
Okay. We're going to limit your speaking opportunities today with the cotton ball still in your mouth. But
Yeah, Charlie. I mean, this is not the day to really go to Max on air.
I had to be here. We got Game 7 of the NBA Finals, and we got LSU baseball.
Sounds like Harry Carey.
He does. Okay. All right. From now on, write it down. Huh? Write it down. We'll speak it for you. Oh, gosh. Chris Massaro with us today. Troy Macker with us today. Bruce Marshall with us today. Kyle Peterson had a chance to talk to him earlier. He'll, of course, be on the call for LSU in South Carolina. The championship series starts tomorrow night at 6 and then 1:30 on Sunday, if necessary, Monday at 6:30. LSU a favorite in this game one and in this series, and right now as we start the show, Jimmy, Coastal Carolina is going to the podium. Their press conferences first. They don't do them together anymore. They do them back to back. So Coastal for the first half hour, and then LSU at 11:30. We're certainly expecting Kate Anderson for LSU. For Coastal,
Anderson and Ianson.
Yeah,
Saturday, Sunday. And
yeah,
then go from there because, I mean, Anderson's. No problem with there. And you throw game one, you might get an inning or two in game three.
That's true.
And Ianson has pitched more recently. So I mean, it's just strategy now. I mean,
correct.
But we saw 6 pitchers pitch on a Friday, come back on a Monday. Now that's 2 days off. But we did see West Virginia throw their starter on Friday and come back on Sunday with the game to play with as well.
Yeah.
So, and it's that would be the last game of the year. And even as Major League Baseball turns, they're gonna like, here's college baseball again. These pitch counts and this and that. Well, it's happened in the Game 7s in MLB as well. So, Randy Johnson, Bumgarner, the biggest examples that come to mind for me. Johnson pitched the day after, came in relief the day after he started for Game 6 to Game 7.
Game 6 to Game 7.
2001 against the Yankees?
Yeah, the Yankees had won the middle 3 games of that. That was right after 9/11, and they had won the middle 3 games in New York City.
All 7 were won by the home team?
Yeah.
Okay. There had to be.
Yeah, because remember they hit the two balls off Brung Young Kim, I believe it was,
yes,
the closer for Arizona.
He blew 2 saves in New York.
Yes. Yeah, and so they got back Schilling or Johnson in Game 6 and Schilling in Game 7 with Johnson behind him to win for the D-backs, if I'm remembering all of that correctly, I think. Johnson in Game 6,
right?
Schilling in starting Game 7,
correct,
and Johnson behind
came
him.
In relief, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can do that. I'll give you one also from the college ranks where the starter came back in Game 3 of the 3-game series, and that was LSU in 2009, where Lewis Coleman started Game 1, that extra inning win against Texas, and then came on to finish out Game 3 a day later. And close that one out
later.
Well, it was Monday to Wednesday.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you can't do.
After 1 day rest.
Yeah, after 1 day's rest, they were. And look, that game got away from Texas. LSU kind of stretched it out and won it by I think 7 runs, but it was tied going to the 7th.
Yes.
I mean,
yes. No. The game was very close.
I can hear Jim Hawthorne in my head. We've got 3 innings for the national championship, and going into the 7th in that series. So yeah, it's been done before. You could if you tell Kate Anderson on Monday night to come back and give you 20 pitches or 25 pitches, I'm quite certain he would do it.
Okay, so that's for them. But the real strategy is what is Coastal going to do with Morrison? Because this is a deep pitching staff, but just like Anderson's, you clear one. Morrison is their clear one, and well, I mean, you pitch him on Saturday or Sunday. Do you start him on Saturday or Sunday? He could come back maybe with an inning or 2 on Monday if he starts on Saturday.
Kevin Schnall just went, the head coach just went to the podium. He's speaking now, so I have a chance to look really stupid really quickly here, but I think it's going to be Cameron Flukie. the number 2 starter for Coastal in Game 1. I say that because in the month of May, there were multiple series where Coastal started on Thursday, and they chose to keep Morrison in the Friday spot to keep him on full rest. Then when you got into the regional, they held him for the Marble game, which was Saturday, which gave them the full rest there. And then in the Super, they also had him on full rest. So look, he could pitch tomorrow. 5 days rest for him.
So you're eliminating the option of bringing him back in Game 3 by starting him in Game 2.
I think that's what they will do. Yeah, like I said, I got the potential to look really stupid here if he says Morrison in Game 1.
You would do that?
I don't.
He's rested.
No, he's right. He's absolutely ready to go.
Neither of these pitching staffs are compromised.
I guess it would depend on how I felt about him bouncing back on one days if I needed him. Is that a possibility?
Would you like to have that club in your bag?
I would.
You think this thing's going 3? You want to avoid Anderson and try and?
I picked LSU in 2 earlier this morning, so I'm going to stick with that. But it's not going to shock me if it goes 3.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think they're just a little bit better. I think that their pitchers have been tested a little bit more. I think they've got more swing and miss stuff.
I do think that LSU's. Yeah, they both are deep, but I think LSU, like Evans, is better than their guy in that. In that order. I think Anderson and Morrison are a wash. As good as Anderson is, I just think that's a wash. Ianson, how is his form, you think, right now? It's a little not quite as it was coming down the stretch.
I thought it was a little bit compromised in the Super for 2 reasons. Number one, that he came back and pitched twice in a weekend in the regional, which he had not been asked to do before. And the second thing was the extreme heat in that game on the second game that he pitched.
Well, he got hit against UCLA.
In the first inning, and then he settled in. Yeah. So yes, he is a little bit.
Last time he gave up 3 earned runs that early? It's been a long time.
Oh, in an inning. Yeah. It's been a minute. And I think we're going to have extreme heat. There's an extreme heat.
Mid to high 90s.
High 90s. There's like an extreme heat warning across the Midwest. I've been up there for a game that was played at about 97, 98 degrees. That second game of the Texas series in 2009, and I was down on the field before the game, and it's a different kind of humidity than what we get here. The air's so heavy. It's so muggy. You feel like you're having a hard time breathing. Ianson pitched in that 2 weeks ago, and so did Anderson. Coastal's, look, they pitched in hot weather. I'm not saying that they haven't, but that extreme heat, I'm going to give just a slight edge to LSU there. I think they've got a few more offensive options off the bench than Coastal does. So some experience there. It's a slight edge. And I think the top of LSU's bullpen is better than the top of Coastal's, although Coastal's may be deeper. In a 3-game series, I like the Tigers by close games, but I like them to win the first. And I think they've also been put in more tight spots in this College World Series. Coastal had to score 3 runs in the 8th inning against Arizona in the opener. The other 2 games, they were in complete command from the first inning on. They got a 3-run lead in that first game and a 6-run lead in the second game, and they've been on cruise control, and that's great. That's how you want to do it. But LSU, it seems like every pitch up there has been life or death. You knew every pitch of both those Arkansas games could have swung it. And then you put yourself in a hole against UCLA. They didn't open that thing up, to go the overnight and then open it up the next day. I just think LSU's a little bit better.
So LSU, you say LSU is more tested, but Coastal has a stronger RPI and a stronger strength of schedule.
They don't have a stronger strength of schedule. They do have a better RPI.
Okay, because they're 5 games better.
Yeah.
Okay, so LSU is more tested.
A little bit,
A little bit.
Coastal, I don't have a problem with
They
Coastal.
went to Auburn. Both of them went to Auburn.
That weighs big with me. To go to Auburn and do what LSU couldn't do, what Vandy couldn't do.
But nobody could do.
Right, nobody could do it. I'm saying LSU and Vandy was the number 1 overall seed. LSU's in the championship game. Both of those teams went to Auburn, and neither one of they won 1 game out of 6 between the 2 of them.
Arkansas certainly was a better, a more formidable opponent on their side of the bracket than Coastal had, but Coastal played tougher competition in the regional and super regional. West Virginia was terrible.
Yeah,
they gave you 17 free runs.
They were very compromised.
They're
with
terrible.
Their
and in Little Rock, Little Rock played better, but come on.
They played over their heads for a couple of days.
But 260 RPI team.
Coastal had a tougher route too.
You kind of got the same theme, and they're going through the bracket without even a whole lot of stress. Well, that's. I mean, what do you want? I mean, so you could say, are they more battle tested or they're more impressive? And they're not sweating games. They didn't need any luck to get through their bracket.
Nope.
But I kind of get the same tone from you on you kind of predicting or handicapping this championship series like we've been doing with the NBA finals. Well, we're down to Game 7 now. I mean, I guess, it's I don't know. Indiana ain't got a shot, but it's Game 7. The first time
I never said Indiana didn't have a shot.
You have had that tone. Max, is that fair? He can't talk. Just give me a yes or no. Has he given Indiana any shot in this series?
Yes, he's nodding his head. I picked Oklahoma.
Go back to bed, man. Get back to your bed. He's medicated.
He's a trooper today. I picked Oklahoma City in the series, but I didn't say Indiana didn't have a chance.
You have that kind of same smug,
I thought that Oklahoma City would close it out last night.
Go back and rewind the shows. I mean, you have given. I mean, they're gonna go in there. They might go.
I think they're gonna win Sunday night.
Well, you thought Oklahoma City was going to win last night.
I did.
Yeah,
I thought that
they were going to win Game 1.
I thought that Halliburton would be way more compromised last night than he ended up being. I was wrong there. Let's hope I'm wrong on the basketball and right on the baseball. How's that?
I think this is, and people, I've been asked in doing shows. I say, does Coastal have? Absolutely, Coastal has a shot. I mean, if you don't think. But the same thing. If this theme here, if Indiana, you don't think if Indiana's dangerous? If they haven't showed you that by now, I mean, damn. I mean, they've got so many pieces, and Coastal is just they're approached. They're playing a decent league. This is as strong of a mid-major these are your words now. You compare it to the Augie Garrido era at Cal State Fullerton.
That's what they're starting to look
like. You don't think they had a shot to win them? When they got there?
They were favorites in a couple of those years.
Well, LSU certainly more public and more powerful in the SEC and the resources and the budget. We know the whole thing. But this is like Peterson, where they were just running a clip on the show before. And listen, this College World Series championship, it's getting a little bit more juice, a little bit more coverage, it seems, like than previous ones. It's grown a little bit. And we talked about there's no NBA, no Stanley Cup Finals for that crazy Arkansas LSU finish. So it got, a little people's attention. But this is no David and Goliath, bro.
It's not.
This is not even
But if
close.
you're a casual baseball fan, if you just tune in for the World Series and nothing else.
That's right.
You might
have
not know.
No idea.
Yeah, you got to really look at this.
No, if this is your third college baseball game you're watching this year, you don't know. And that's why Peterson said, no, this is not some nice little story.
No.
This is not some Little Rock coming in and playing. No, they're really good.
Let me ask you this. Where do you think they would have finished?
Now, have they not been more consistent than LSU this year? LSU's playing better right now.
LSU's playing way better than they were at the middle part of the season. LSU went
you
through
saw
a
some of those
slump.
scoring droughts?
Yes.
Remember those?
Absolutely.
When those pitiful at-bats?
Now, with the strength of schedule in mind, LSU never got to go through a stretch in the middle of the season where they were playing James Madison and Marshall and App State.
They played South Carolina and Missouri.
They played bad SEC teams.
They played horrible non-conference.
Which is not like playing bad conference teams. I mean, you're talking about conference games against Appalachian State and ULM and James Madison, all of whom had losing records overall. I mean, even the bad SEC teams, you're going to get a winning record overall. So, no, LSU never got on a 26-game win streak, but that would have been pretty tough.
Our appetizer features today here at Ruffino's, a crawfish egg roll, Louisiana crawfish tails, spicy cabbage blend with the port cherry chili sauce.
I'm getting that.
Hal's got the thumbs up already. Let's split some. Get some right now.
All right.
The tuna tostado. Here we go. The marinated eye tuna, the gyoza chips, spicy mayo with sesame seeds. Entree features today in this weekend over here at Ruffino's. Pork chop a la vodka, crispy fried, 12-ounce bone-in pork chop, basil, Italian cheeses, vodka tomato cream with capellini pasta. Suggested wine pairing, a Morgan 12 Clones Pinot out of Santa Lucia. The pan-seared redfish is our seafood entree special. the jasmine rice, crawfish etouffee, curled asparagus. Suggested wine pairing is the Frank Family Chardonnay, which we have by the glass over here all the time. Very popular. I get it with my seafood every Friday. And here we go. Pecan pie seduction, cream cheese frosting, candied pecans, graham cracker crust. Hello. And as always, our Ruffino's Old Elk 18 Rocks Pour, Ruffino's exclusive hand-picked single-barrel select bourbon, available here at Ruffino's as well.
Consider me seduced. Live at Ruffino's, live at lunch, 104.5. You named it. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
Workbox can handle all of your movable storage needs, commercial and residential. Our shipping containers come in various sizes, 8x8, 8x10, 8x20, or even 8x40 feet. Not just one size. These units can be customized for any use. Custom lunchrooms, offices, work sites for plumbers or welders, dual purpose, part office, part storage, climate control, shelving, lighting, using different materials, whatever you need. Give my buddy Martin Padial at Workbox a call at 343-4886, 343-4886, and workboxllc.com. Attention vehicle owners. Before you trade your transportation, let K&M Automotive give your vehicle a new lease on life with a remanufactured product from Jasper Engines and Transmissions. A Jasper remanufactured engine, transmission, or differential will extend your vehicle's life, giving you the extra cash to do the things you really enjoy. And Jasper offers a 3-year, 100,000-mile nationwide parts and labor warranty. K&M Automotive, 636-2875. That's K&M Automotive, Siegen near Perkins.
Get Moss Max and less text during happy hour at Modesto. Join us Tuesday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. for $10 20-ounce margaritas and Dip Trio with $5 drink specials and $6 seasonal cocktails. Eat Modesto, 3930 Burbank Drive.
Pizza that's true to its hand-tossed wood-fried tradition. Roca Pizzeria is heating up its new half-off happy hour, Monday through Fridays, 3 to 6 p.m. Come enjoy 50% off margarita, pepperoni, 4 cheese, craft cocktails, wine by the glass, and draft beer. Roca Pizzeria, 3897 Government.
Need more space? Workbox LLC has the storage solutions you can count on. Whether you're a homeowner, commercial contractor, or industrial business, we have the space for you. Our secure, versatile storage units are ready to meet your needs. Contractors, keep your site organized and efficient. Store your materials with us and access them anytime you need. Businesses, industries of any size, Workbox LLC is your trusted partner for flexible, safe storage. Workbox 343-4886 and workboxllc.com. The new location of Los Reyes Mexican Grill on Wesley across from Mike Anderson's. Man, the place looks great. Lots of indoor and outdoor seating options with plenty of big TVs to watch all your favorite games. All of the traditional Mexican cuisine with a great happy hour, 2:30 to 6:30, 7 days a week. Plus $5 margaritas all day, all night on Wednesdays. Great spot to bring the baseball team in between games, just 5 minutes north of Traction and 5 minutes south of LSU. Los Reyes Mexican Grill, 1072 West Lee, near Nicholson.
ALS is a progressive and neurodegenerative disease, and we need your help to find a cure. The mission of the ALS Association, Louisiana-Mississippi chapter, is to discover treatments and a cure for ALS, and to serve, advocate for, and empower people affected by ALS to live their lives to the fullest. Whether you are newly diagnosed, a military veteran, a caregiver, or someone looking to learn more about how to navigate living with ALS, they can help. Visit als.org to learn more. That's als.org.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Live at lunch with Odd and Hanny from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All right, let's go to Chris Massaro, see where he is these days in Saratoga for Belmont. He's all over the place. Where you at right now, Chris?
I'm sitting in my office back home in San Diego. First night sleeping in my bed in about 3.5 weeks was a Wednesday night. First time since May 24th. So it's nice to be home. It was a beautiful sunny day in San Diego yesterday. So we're back on track. We're doing better than OKC's doing.
Yeah. Chris, I know you don't bet college baseball, but I do have to say this. These totals and these unders, the last 3 games have gone over. The first one was 6-3 in the 9th inning, and we had under 11. The next one was, Charlie, what was LSU? 1-0 in the 7th? 1-0 in the 7th, 3-3 in the 9th.
It was 1-0, and it was 2-1, and then it was 3-2.
Yeah,
it was 3-3.
But 3-3 entering the 9th. A 2-run, a 5.5 run, and a 4.5 run cushion going into the last innings. I mean, what do you say to our friends who say no hedging's for gardeners? I mean, huh? I mean, I could not. I mean, some of these, Indiana, game 4 with Indiana, if you had the +6. What was the other one? Oh, the under that you put us on last week, the under 6.5, where it's 2-0 in the third. I mean, and it goes, if you're not middling or hedging at some of these, you're going to be driving yourself absolutely nuts.
Yeah, well, let's go back to that. Last Friday night, we had Indiana +6.5. They're up by 10 late in the third. They're up by 4 or 5 with 4 minutes to go. They only score 1 free throw in the last 4 minutes of the game, lose by 7. One of the worst beats I've ever seen. Then we go Saturday night, the hockey game, sizable wager on the under 6.5, 2 goals with 15 minutes to go. We all saw what happened. Absolutely insane. They pulled the goalie with 5 minutes. Goes over 7. Then on Sunday, I had Bobby Mack at 100-1 from after round 2. They're offering me a huge cash out, but you're so far behind on the TV, you almost don't want to take the cash out because maybe they're offering you something better that you don't know what's happening. I'm like, why are they offering me something so good? Then Spawn comes back and gets me, and then these college baseball games, like you said, I watched the game when LSU came, the miracle comeback against Arkansas on the plane. And it was just absolutely, everything that could have possibly gone wrong for Arkansas went wrong. You guys pulled a miracle out of the old rabbit out of the hat there. So, yeah, you're right. You have to be engaged, and I've mentioned this to people all week long. You don't have to hedge every position, but when you have such a huge shot to middle, it might not be bad to, hey, listen, maybe I can get both. Protect your wager and maybe get both. You don't have to give away the whole wager. Sometimes you can play them where you can get plus money because you have such a big hedge, which is what happened to me in the hockey game the other night. And we were texting back and forth. You got over 4.5.
Right.
I had over 4.5, 5, 5.5. And then I had so many positions at 4, 4.5, 5 that I could say, you know what, I can take over 6.5, even though that would be a loser. But I would end up middling if it landed on 6. So if it had landed on 6, it would have been perfect. But you do have to be paying attention. And that's what I try to tell people. Don't just assume you have a winner and you kind of forget and you're at the bar and you're not looking at the game and all of a sudden you look
Charlie,
up
you hear this?
Whoa, hey, what happened? What happened?
Yes.
But hey, those bad beats. That was just a weekend and falling into this week of the most vicious beats. The Arkansas LSU game. Not only did Arkansas blow the game, but you lost the total. With just 2 whammies, and it happened so quick, and you got to wonder what some of those Arkansas players were thinking.
Not just that, but Arkansas run line -1.5. The guy catches the ball. You hit that, so that's plus money. Yeah. You had the money line, which you lost was minus, but then the 10.5 over. So all of that, and so in some of these, we're moving forward. Just have a little bit of college, but MLB too. Like I had big bets on Milwaukee in the first 5 yesterday, so I took the Cubs to score in the 5th inning plus 260. I don't want to. I want to. So it's a big price, but there's different ways to do it. But yeah, I had middle. I thought I was going to hit the middle of the damn hockey. But it's a lot of middles. But Charlie, kind of making sense to you? Because you're like a lot of our listeners, kind of new to the live stuff.
I understand it. I get it. I occasionally will make a middle or a hedge. I don't look to do it unless it's a really obvious spot. I like to trust my reads. And honestly, I'm a little bit concerned about making a mistake with the math. You guys lose me a little bit with the math at times. Okay, I got to put it on a piece of paper.
Okay.
I can't do it on the fly like you did.
Did you have the hockey under 6.5?
I didn't play the hockey game, so I'm out of that game. But I understand the concept of it. Okay, but there are times, and I think you'll back me up here, where you got less than a minute to get this right. Okay, where the live line.
Well,
changing.
hockey, no, because they don't score as frequently.
Okay,
basketball, yes,
yeah, okay.
yes.
And honestly,
and then you got the half innings in baseball.
Yeah, I concern myself with doing something in a hurry so much and making a mistake on the math.
Right.
So it's got to be obvious to me to do it.
At 2-0, here's good. Okay, so I got under 6.5. At 2-0, they have shown no signs that they're about to, but. I'm also seeing that in Game 7, they might pull the goalie earlier, which they did. But once it gets to 3, 4, I'm like, okay, here they go again. Every game's going over. They're going to pull it over. Then I start, give me some over 4.5. Well, I got a 2-goal middle. Then I got to get a little bit over 5.5. I mean, so that's where I have to see a spark.
Sure.
Chris, does that make sense to you too? I mean, as long as what game was it? Oklahoma City against Memphis, where they won by like 40? In game 1, well, I don't see a run. I have to see a little bit. I'm not going to get the best number if I wait for that spark, but I want to see a spark from the other team to show me that they may be coming. Does that make sense, Chris?
Yeah, I mean on Saturday night, I didn't start playing over the total until they got that quick goal, and then I played a little tiny bit, and then they got a super quick goal, and then all of a sudden it went from 2-0 to 3-1. And now I'm nervous because now I'm saying, oh, my God, they're going to be pulling the goalie. When it's 3-0 or 4-0, they're not going to pull the goalie. But when it's 3-1, now it's potential to pull the goalie. So I got a little nervous there. That's when I took 4.5. That's when I started taking 5. The key to live betting, too, is when you're in a big position, do not watch the TV. Just watch your phone or the computer.
Yes.
Because you've got to block that out because the TV, depending upon what service you're on, YouTube TV, DirecTV, cable, very, very few of these providers are anywhere near the game. So if you're just trying to think you're being a smart guy watching the TV, you're so far out of it. Just watch your phone, watch the app, watch your computer screen. Try to block out the game with the noise and the sound. Don't even watch it. Big deal. You miss 90 seconds of play. You'll end up doing something better with your bet instead of thinking you're ahead of the game watching the game, because you're not. You're so far behind. It's some of these feeds. The golf feed on Sunday had to be two minutes behind at the restaurant I was at. It wasn't even close.
Yeah, and also you can experiment it with, because the streaming has come so far. Streaming's quicker a lot of times than the actual TV. So. Just to give you a little bit, you're trying to keep there. But, yes, indeed, just don't be that guy where you got a watch party and everybody's watching the TV and you go, oh, well, here comes a big play. Oh, no, they already scored.
That guy doesn't get to watch with me very long. You get one of those, and then you have to go away, or I have to go away.
But yes, indeed. All right, Chris, from somebody really doesn't foul it, but you experienced, knowledgeable sports gambler. What do you think about this matchup from afar with Coastal and LSU?
Oh, actually, I have a little nibble. So what happened was I bet Oregon State before the tournament at 40-1, and I had them also linked up with Clemson to win the ACC, a couple of future parlays. So when Oregon State made it as far as they did, I only thought the only team that could beat them was Coastal. So I took a little nibble on Coastal, and then I put a little nibble on Coastal with Alabama for national championship. So I do have a little rooting interest in Coastal. And, hey, I know you guys are big LSU fans. I'm sure everyone listening is a huge LSU fan. How can you not love the LSU team? I mean, they're so clutch, and they love each other. And what's his name? Jones is just unbelievable. But how do you go and stand in front of a team that's won 26 in a row? It doesn't have many weaknesses. This team breaks, pitches well. And if you recall, in 2016, I'm sure you do, they beat LSU twice on the way to the national championship.
Yeah.
So, if it was me, if I was just standing outside the box there, I would kind of like the plus money on Coastal, just to do the fact that they're on such an unbelievable run. I've seen those stats. Teams going into the final round with that type of winning streak have all won the championship, and they've won like 9 more games than the second closest team, which I think was maybe Miami or somebody else. But it's just, it's a great story. I actually had a friend out here who was a baseball agent. His son went there a few years ago. He doesn't go there anymore, but pretty cool story from a little school down at the Dirty, what do they call it, the Dirty Myrtle?
Kind of under the radar, pretty good party school. I'll just put it like that. Yeah, and the Dirty Myrtle. Yes. All right, Chris. Game 7 tomorrow. You got Zigzag is 4-1 in this series. Sunday. I'm sorry, I keep saying that. 4-1 and like 25 games over for the playoffs. The Zigzag. It hit again last night with Indiana bouncing back.
Yeah, I know that. I knew you were going to bring up the Zigzag, and I OKC is probably going to win, but do you really trust them at the end of the game when the game's on the line? I mean, if you kind of comb through last night's box score, I mean, it's kind of horrifying. I mean, Chet Holmgren had 4 points. Jalen Williams, who they were trying to say was going to be the MVP, was a minus 40. Lou Dort, 3 points. Guys aren't even shooting the ball. I mean, Dort had 5 attempts, Hartenstein 4 attempts, Holmgren 9 attempts. I know they sat out the fourth quarter, but I mean, what is this a horrible effort from this team?
Yeah.
I don't even know if they didn't come with the energy. It's what is weird is the first 5 minutes of the game, they look like the better team. Like, oh my God, they're going to run away with it. Indiana doesn't have anything. Halliburton was kind of limping around. He had 1 point when they took him out at his first time they took him out. So I was like, oh my God, Indiana's not going to score. I mean, this game is going to be over. And then, oh my God, the breaks. So I mean, they went on like they were up by 30 points at 1 point, late third or early fourth, and they were down 7 early. So they went on a 37 point run. It's just, how does that happen? And all these people with the greatest net rating ever, and OKC might bulldoze. Bill Simmons said they might bulldoze their way into the all-time conversation. It's like, put the brakes on. Just put the brakes on, because the attitude that they showed up with last night,
they're playing with fire.
Say, hey, we got Game 7 in our back pocket. We're confident. But I couldn't lay 8 points with them. I feel like when the game is tight,
all right, yep.
I want Halliburton and Siakam.
All right, so you got Indiana?
And McConnell.
You got Indiana?
Yeah, I'm leaning Indiana with
okay.
the points. Sorry
Okay.
for rambling on there.
Okay. All right, Chris, we out of town, brother.
But I have them for the series, too, at 14-1. So I'm kind of rooting for it.
All right, Chris, we'll talk to you next week. Great stuff, as always. Don't forget our friends over at Legacy Title. Chad Reynolds, Legacy Title, hitting Omaha. That's right, Chad. Celebrating 23 years of doing the stuff at Legacy Title. So what's he do, Charlie? He buys 23 Jell-O shots. Absolutely. Got a great picture on my Twitter account of Chad with his 23 gold Jell-O shots with his purple and gold on. So, yes, indeed, congratulations to Chad and Legacy Title for 23 years. Buying, building, refinancing, nobody chooses but you. Choose Chad Reynolds, Legacy Title, 296-0060.
Coastal Carolina has named a pitcher for game number 1. We'll tell you who that is when we come back live at lunch from Ruffino's 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. When it comes to retirement, there are no two situations alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you, your business partners, your legal team, and tax professionals to make sure those goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his great staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC. This is Charles Henniger for Home Bank. If you're tired of the impersonal, one-size-fits-all style of banking, you deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for your businesses and families because they go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business and good for life. Stop by any South Louisiana, Houston, or Natchez area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Ruffino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit ruffinosrestaurant.com. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Baseball and softball players of all levels get the competitive edge you've been looking for at Total Diamond Performance. Do the same lessons, camps, classes, and clinics used by top college and MLB organizations. Everything from mental performance, in-game video and data analysis to improve pitching, throwing velocity, bat speed, and fielding. Total Diamond Performance is tailored around the individual player to build strength and athleticism while also cleaning up mechanical deficiencies. Matt Mastretta applies what he's learned working in player development with college and MLB teams. Total Diamond Performance, 931-3730. That's 931-3730.
This is Charles Henniger for Total Maintenance for AC and heating, generators, electricity, and plumbing. Total Maintenance is your one-stop sales and service shop for all of these needs. Service today, every day. That's their slogan at Total Maintenance, so nobody ever has to go to sleep hot. Over the years, Total Maintenance has expanded into the New Orleans area, as well as their offices in Baton Rouge with full staffs in both markets. Call 480-1000 in Baton Rouge or in New Orleans, 841-3300. Service today, every day at Total Maintenance.
Go Automotive has a great selection of new cars. Chevy, GMC, Hummer, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. You rather a pre-owned vehicle? Using our resources will help find you any vehicle that you're looking for. Our service department offers VIP service. You never have to come to the dealership. We'll pick up the vehicle at your home or office, drop off a loaner, service the vehicle, and return it when it's done. Mention my name, Jimmy Ott, for VIP pricing. The Chevy Tahoe I drive came from Go Automotive. That's Go Automotive in LaPlace and Plaquemine.
ALS is a progressive and neurodegenerative disease, and we need your help to find a cure. The mission of the ALS Association, Louisiana-Mississippi chapter, is to discover treatments and a cure for ALS, and to serve, advocate for, and empower people affected by ALS to live their lives to the fullest. Whether you are newly diagnosed, a military veteran, a caregiver, or someone looking to learn more about how to navigate living with ALS, they can help. Visit als.org to learn more. That's als.org.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Jimmy, Charlie, and Troy. Three best buddies sitting around talking sports bets. Let's welcome in Troy Macker from Bet Rivers.
All right, Troy Macker with us talking some weekend sport. What's that, Charlie?
Let me. Fulfill the tease
pitching.
here. It'll be the number 2 pitcher for Coastal Carolina, the sophomore righty Cameron Fluke, who has been a starter all year but went in relief in Game 1 of the College World Series, 4 innings against Arizona. He also pitched against Auburn, 5 innings, 3 runs in the Super Regional, 4 innings, 2 runs against Arizona. His numbers for the season: 7-1, 3.29 ERA, 95 2/3 innings pitched, 109 strikeouts, 6'6", 210 pounds.
Yes, so that was the guy when we talked about Coastal had 10 pitchers with 3.03 ERAs or less.
Yeah.
In their first move to the pen, was not one of them.
No, this guy, right?
Yeah. So you're just talking about how deep they are. Troy, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me on again.
Hey, give us the updated odds on Game 1 and series odds for the World Series up in Omaha.
Yeah, right now we got LSU as a minus 177 favorite in game one. Coastal's plus 128. Run line, obviously, LSU is minus 1.5, but at plus 115. Coastal plus 1.5 at minus 167, and the over/under is at 8. And I'm sure you guys are monitoring the weather there at the stadium, which I feel like is it a hitter's park or is it a pitcher's park? There's a lot of wind there, right?
Oh, it's very much a pitcher's park. I mean,
it's a big park, right? Yeah.
Well, it's the same dimensions as the old park, but the old park was built in a bluff, and this one is built downtown with right center field extended as the Missouri River, where the wind will blow in 80% of the time, but the ball just does not carry like it did in Rosenblatt. Not even close. Still, these last 3 games have gone over. You actually have the overs are 1 game better. So it's 6-5-1 to this point. The overs, for instance, Troy. Now they played these 12 games in 30 degrees warmer temperature than what they did in the Big Ten tournament. This weekend will be 40 degrees warmer than what it was. Big Ten tournament was played in mid to high 50s. This thing has been played to mid to high 80s, and this weekend will be the mid to high 90s. So that has made the ball carry a little bit. But the wind is blowing 20 to 30 miles per hour in from right center. Oh, it's going to play very, very big. I'm all over that under 8.5. I can tell you that.
Well, I'll tell you right now on the over/under, 68% of the money and 69% of the tickets are on the over. But, while, people are still on the over, 68 and 69% of the tickets. When I see that makes me think that, there is more thought that the under is the realistic play because over is obviously super popular, a lion's share of the money. So when you see it not in the 80s, that should give you pause and some thought to let's look at the unders. Right now, 59% of the money is on Coastal to win game one. 71% of the tickets are on LSU. And right now, it's 73% of the money and 93% of the tickets are on Coastal to cover the run line of 1.5. And we got some interesting futures. Right now LSU is minus 186 to win the College World Series. Coastal is plus 148. We took a small bet, $25 on Coastal at 100 to 1.
Oh.
We got a $75 bet on Coastal at 50 to 1. A $500 bet at LSU at 7 to 1. And the biggest one is 2,000 on LSU at minus 176, which is slightly shorter or slightly longer than what it is now. But if Coastal does get it done, there'll be some very nice payouts for people who've been riding the champ.
Yeah, Charlie, didn't you think the odds makers kind of got this right with Morrison going to the second game? If Morrison was going to the first game, this line would not be as high, don't you think?
Yeah, Anderson should be a bigger favorite, except I'm looking at this press conference. I can't hear it. Jay Johnson brought Anthony Ianson. He didn't bring Cade Anderson. Is there any chance he's starting Ianson in game one? Is he? I mean,
no
Lord
way.
knows he doesn't like.
No way.
I'm just looking at the press conference. I wouldn't think so either, but there's Ianson sitting right next to him.
I understand.
Yeah. No,
he's done some unorthodox things before, and I understand why you're a little, you're a little concerned.
If Morrison pitched against Ianson on Sunday, I would make Coastal a small favorite.
Yeah.
I don't think they would be, but I would make him a small favorite. Anderson should be a bigger favorite against Fluky than he would be against Morrison by, I would say, 40, minus 40. Instead of if it was Anderson against Morrison, I would say LSU should be like minus 130 and maybe 170, 180 against Fluky.
Troy Anderson, LSU's best pitcher, projected to go either 1 or 2 in the MLB draft. He and Matt Holliday, his second son, Jackson's little brother out of Oklahoma City is, or Stillwater rather, where Holliday played college ball at Oklahoma State. But they're teetering back and forth who will be the first overall pick. So that's why we're talking about Anderson so much and trying to confirm that he'll be starting for game one on Saturday.
But I can tell you this, as a Washington Nationals fan, they have the number 1 overall pick. And 2 years ago, they had the number 2 overall pick. And heading into the College World Series, or the tournament, really, Dylan Cruz was the presumptive number 1 pick for most of the year. And then as soon as the NCAA tournament started, we all watched Paul Skeens pitch. Paul Skeens easily became the number 1, prospect. And I was hoping that maybe you know, the Pirates would just stick with the number one, Dylan Cruz, who'd been the presumptive favorite, and my team would pick up at number 2, Paul Skeens, who's a future multi-time All-Star Cy Young winner. So I'm very happy that my team is in the number 1 spot. And, you know, the youngest Holiday kid, his brother Jackson plays right up the road in Baltimore, would be nice. But if you're telling me I could get an elite ace from LSU that has, you know, a pedigree of doing this, I would like that.
He's no Skeens, but he's very good. I mean, Skeens is his
there are
different.
very few Paul Skeens in this world.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Charlie, remember our conversation about James Wood?
Yeah.
My Colorado bet there yesterday. They were 1 out away, 2 open bases. Runner third, bottom of the 11th. They pitched to him. He put it about, I don't know, 40 feet past the dead center field wall.
That counts for a home run, right?
What are you doing throwing to this guy?
Yeah.
But he's legit. I mean, I know it's been a rough year, especially a rough stretch, Troy. But this Wood, man, I was just telling Charlie, the ball just comes off his bat differently, man. We can see a guy like Judge, how built he is. This guy is kind of thin in room to even fill out and mature physically. I don't think he's done. But, man, the ball pops off his bat.
He is tall. He's not super skinny, but we'd say lean. And, you know, the biggest room for improvement this year for him, other than, you know, he needs to work on his fielding. I think a lot of players do when they get to the major league level, but it was with power. I think he was projected to hit something like 25 home runs, which is not a lot for your star player. But he is definitely on pace to break that. He has been, his vision has been far better. He is a superstar, man. Him and the likes of, Ellie De La Cruz. He's really long, really fast, really good hitters who got pop in their bat and are both developing as fielders. Because the Nationals don't spend any money and aren't great at keeping homegrown talent here for a while, I'm not sure how long he'll be here. He's from Maryland. Maybe he'll want to stay in the area, but I am very much enjoying watching him play because he is something else, man.
What are they saying about Cruz up in that area, Troy? Because he is not having the season. He was the favorite to be the NL Rookie of the Year. He's not having that great of a year. Had a rough start. What concern about Cruz up in the D.C. area?
Well, at the beginning of the year, in the first month, there was a lot of concern. He just wasn't having good at bat, swinging and missing, swinging early, and just not making good contact. But the reason we don't hear a lot about it now, the last couple weeks, is because everything's been terrible. Everyone's playing poorly, save James Wood. The pitching's bad. David Martinez has not been doing great managing. It's been a disaster. So Cruz's struggles have kind of just fallen back to the wayside of, well, he's struggling because he's a rookie, and this is a much bigger jump than we all expected. Maybe his long-term outlook has taken a little bit of a hit, but he's still thought to be, an everyday outfielder who can, hopefully. The goal now is that he has the bat to be able to hit at the top of the lineup and not have to be slotted down to 7, 8, 9. It has been a big struggle, but we're just not hearing about it because everyone's struggling.
Troy, we're up against a break real quick. Where's the action of Game 7 Sunday night in the NBA Finals?
Yeah, it's a bit all over the map right now. We got 65% of the money's on the Thunder, and that's, probably getting a dog price that's going to be as long as it is now. It's probably going to shorten a little bit. 71% of the tickets are on the Thunder or on the Pacers to win. Spread money's all on the Thunder, though. 87% of the money is on the Thunder to cover. 74% of the tickets right now at 8.5, and then 53% of the money and 86% of the tickets are on the over. I think this is a similar spot to that Denver OKC Game 7. Denver had the experience and had been there before. They fought gutsy in Game 6, just like the Pacers. And then in Game 7, the Thunder ran them out of the gym at home, and I tend to believe that's what's going to happen, even though I would love to see the Pacers win another close one.
Follow Troy on Twitter at Troy Macker. That's Machir. Troy, enjoy the weekend. We'll talk to you Monday.
Thanks, guys.
Don't forget our friends at Total Maintenance, one of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC heating companies since 1980. Lucas Ragusa and his great staff been knowing Lucas and dealing with Lucas for a long, long time. He's worked his way up through it, being a tech, manager, owner, the whole bit. He's still out there on the field helping people get their AC back up and running. Your AC unit goes down, it is rough. I mean, you got to call somebody who's going to get there today. Same day service today, every day. You'll never sleep hot. You call today, you get service today. We're also factory authorized dealers for Carrier, American Standard, Daikin, and Rheem products. Generators, authorized dealer for Generac and Cummings as well. Covering both the Metro Baton Rouge and New Orleans areas, but not compromised because we have separate staffs and offices in both markets. 480-1000, 480-1000. That AC unit breaks down. Call our friends at Total Maintenance, 480-1000.
Live at Ruffino's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
We are off to a beautiful start on this Friday. Matt Moscona hanging out at Rouse's, corner of Burbank and Lee. Love coming here, and we'll be here until 1 o'clock. Trust me, if you pull up at the corner of Burbank and Lee at this Rouse's, you can't miss us. We got the big 104.5 ESPN truck out front, the tent. Come play Plinko, win some great prizes, including taking your shot at a $104.50 gift card from here at Rouse's. And come do your shopping. They've got the fresh cuts. They've got the farm fresh produce, tons of great prepared items like the hot and boiled kiosk. Want to get some boiled shrimp? You can do it here at Rouse's. Great spot for lunch. Or if you're going to be throwing some meat on the grill this weekend when the Tigers are getting ready to play in the CWS all the way to a championship, make sure you come by Rouse's. Of course, there's more than 70 locations from Lake Charles to Orange Beach, Alabama, points in between. But today, until 1 o'clock, we are here at Rouse's at the corner of Burbank and Lee. So come hang out with us. Come get your shopping done. Come pick up some lunch. Come try to win a great gift card or other prizes from Rouse's. This feels like home.
If you're near the north side of campus, I need to remind you about a couple of longtime favorites. Highland Coffee's the original specialty coffee shop in Baton Rouge since the 1980s. My personal favorite, love getting my cappuccino from their friendly, knowledgeable staff, roasted right in the shop. Louis Cafe for breakfast and lunch 7 days a week. The Mitchell omelet, Cajun hash browns, Big Cheesy Lou, all served up in that famous open kitchen atmosphere. In Tigertown since 1941. A couple of great spots, Highland Coffee's and Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU.
At Town Square Pizza, we take pride in serving Baton Rouge with fresh, delicious, piping hot, personalized pizza with unmatched speed. Whether you're a downtown worker, a family looking for convenience and value, or an out-of-towner staying at one of the nearby hotels, Town Square Pizza is the spot for you. Try a specialty pizza like the Spanish Town Supreme or custom build your own. Family packs, kids' meals, and salads are available as well. It's hip to be square at Town Square Pizza, downtown facing. What else? Town Square. Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
Baseball and softball players of all levels get the competitive edge you've been looking for at Total Diamond Performance. Do the same lessons, camps, classes, and clinics used by top college and MLB organizations. Everything from mental performance, in-game video and data analysis to improve pitching, throwing velocity, bat speed, and fielding. Total Diamond Performance is tailored around the individual player to build strength and athleticism while also cleaning up mechanical deficiencies. Matt Mastretta applies what he's learned working in player development with college and MLB teams. Total Diamond Performance, 931-3730. That's 931-3730. Now, everybody's been to Louis Cafe by campus. Heck, it's been around since over 80 years now. We're still doing delicious omelets like the Mitchell, cheesy grits, Big Cheesy Lou, and those Louis Original Cajun hash browns. We now offer a pickup window. Just call in your order at 346-8221. Give us 15 or 20 minutes, and we'll have it ready for you. Our hours are now 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., 7 days a week. So next time you visit campus, make it a point to stop by and visit an old friend. Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road since 1988. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games in a casual atmosphere with the friendliest service. Right now, we're boiling crawfish 7 days a week. Monday through Friday, first batch comes out at 5 p.m., weekends at noon. Sammy serves a wide mix of authentic Louisiana food prepared to order with the best ingredients available. Fresh Louisiana seafood, Cajun favorites, burgers, and po' boys, all built from scratch. Our kids' menu and popular appetizers are sure to please the pickiest of eaters. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road, near Starring since 1988.
Live at lunch with Odd and Hanny from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Give Jay Johnson credit. He is nothing if not consistent. They asked him if he wanted to name a starting pitcher for tomorrow, and he said, no, we'll keep that in-house for now. I swear to you, Jimmy, he brought Anthony Ianson on purpose to that press conference.
Deacon him?
Yeah, absolutely. He doesn't say anything. This is after Coastal has announced Fluky, and he's got Ianson sitting right there on the same podium with him, and yet I'm as certain as I can be he's going to throw Cade Anderson. But when he's asked, no, I didn't know that they named a starting pitcher because it had just happened a few minutes earlier. Yeah, I'll let you know when I know, and he knows.
You think bringing Ianson to the press conference has one bit of impact on who Coastal expects to see tomorrow?
No, but I think he did it anyway.
Let's change the number on the punter.
Hey, had to bring somebody to press conference, right? Little gamesmanship there. Live at lunch from Ruffino's, hour number 2, straight ahead, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crowntown Room at Dozy Place. The Crowntown Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with the sriracha glaze. For the perfect blend of sweet and spicy, you can't go wrong also with the flash fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Dozy Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors. When it comes to retirement, no two situations are alike, so Coastal Capital Advisors will tailor a plan for your family's needs no matter your age or your financial situation. The bottom line is Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you and build a lifetime relationship. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Age Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111, and ocbrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for total maintenance. And Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt. The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games since 1988. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Fin Bomb, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
Workbox can handle all of your movable storage needs, commercial and residential. Our shipping containers come in various sizes, 8x8, 8x10, 8x20, or even 8x40 feet. Not just one size. These units can be customized for any use. Custom lunchrooms, offices, work sites for plumbers or welders, dual purpose, part office, part storage, climate control, shelving, lighting, using different materials, whatever you need. Give my buddy Martin Padiel and Workbox a call at 343-4886, 343-4886, and workboxllc.com. Attention, vehicle owners. Before you trade your transportation, let K&M Automotive give your vehicle a new lease on life with a remanufactured product from Jasper Engines and Transmissions. A Jasper remanufactured engine, transmission, or differential will extend your vehicle's life, giving you the extra cash to do the things you really enjoy. And Jasper offers a 3-year, 100,000-mile nationwide parts and labor warranty. K&M Automotive, 636-2875. That's K&M Automotive, Siegen near Perkins.
What is the Baton Rouge Rougarou? Well, it's summer collegiate woodbat baseball. Downtown Baton Rouge, June and July. Go to brrougarou.com and check out college baseball players from all over the country. They play in the Texas Collegiate League, and you can check them out at Pete Goldsby Field, downtown Baton Rouge. Go to brrougarou.com.
Insurance companies have teams of professionals to fight your claim. If you want to know what your case is really worth, I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is a one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7970.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers. LA 21 12681. Offices in Baton Rouge. He's out there somewhere in the world. Maybe even your local sports book.
Can anybody help us?
Let's bring in Bruce Marshall.
Brucey, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, pretty good, Jimmy.
We don't really talk too much college baseball on here, but has it jumped on your radar? What's going on in Omaha?
Yeah, why aren't you guys there? Or are you there?
It's too hot. It's going to be 98 degrees there tomorrow. We're staying where it's cool.
Yeah, this is the first time that LSU's
I
been
got
there,
you.
and we're not there in 30-plus years. So, yeah, it's.
I got you.
We decided months ago
you.
that we just weren't gonna do it this year. So it's been a busy semester on a bunch of different fronts. But anyway, there are a lot of LSU fans there. So, I mean, I can tell you that.
Oh, yeah.
That's one thing for sure, Charlie. It's going to be a home game of sorts. I mean, this is – and LSU going to have, I don't know, 12, 14, 15,000 of the 25?
At least.
And Coastal will have about 1,000?
Yeah, maybe 2. The map that we saw yesterday about who's rooting for who, every state.
Yeah, who put that out?
I forgot. Steve Caparato found it somewhere. Louisiana, Nebraska, and Arizona for some reason. I guess they still love Jay Johnson over there. We're rooting for LSU, and everybody else was rooting for Coastal, which that's the that's the underdog thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
But how many locals are going to this game? These 3 games, these 2 or 3
games.
Less than the first 4, but some, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, the locals in Nebraska are rooting for LSU.
That's yes, they are.
The neutral guys. They're rooting for LSU.
Yes, they are.
So,
yeah.
So LSU might bring 15,000, and if the other 10th and then 2,000
it's gonna be a home
Coastal,
game.
7,000 locals, all of them.
It was
are
a home
rooting for
game
LSU.
in Auburn too. So where Coastal went there and then wrecked house. So I don't think Coastal. I don't know. How much, it might lift LSU a little bit. Regardless, I don't know how much of an impact on the actual outcome it will have, if any. I think it's minimal, if any. But it will be a home game environment for LSU.
It damn sure don't hurt, man. It's
you think you think that impacts the game?
I do a little bit. Yeah, I think it can get in your head a little bit. Not always, but sometimes. Yeah, I think.
Charlie, they're so far removed from this field. It's not like they're on top of the field. I mean, you're so far away. The best seats are far away.
The game can speed up for you, and the moment can get a little bit too big at times. It did for Arkansas the other night. Why couldn't it for Coastal?
Arkansas had a lot of fans there too.
They did.
Yeah,
they did.
Go ahead, Bruce. I'm sorry.
That's still on my bucket list. Although I've noticed it's pretty pricey to go to. I mean, Omaha, you want to stay in a hotel there this week? I mean, you better be ready to pay.
Hotels, yes.
Relatives there.
Yes, hotels are not cheap there.
No, and they're not. And that new stadium, well, I got 15 years old now. Is really nice. Coastal though hadn't blinked, and they've been rolling through this thing. They didn't have much trouble getting here. Maybe a little better side of the bracket, but they've come in here with some momentum. I'm seeing a price about minus 160 for LSU in Game 1 tomorrow.
No, it's higher than that. What is it?
We'll see.
177.
177. Yeah,
177. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they're favored here, but I would just like to see a 3-game series. I'd like to see it go. I'd like to see a real championship game. I think LSU probably wins. Just my thought. I know you guys think the same, but it's good fun. It really is.
LSU expected to throw their ace in Game 1, Anderson, who could be one of the top 2 picks in the draft, or projected to be. That's the latest projections from MLB.com. Coastal throws a guy that's 12-0 with a 2 ERA, the Sun Belt Pitcher of the Year. He's confirmed starting in Game 2 on Sunday. I think the two aces hold serve, and I think we're going to go to Sunday. Charlie's got LSU in a sweep, however, though, so we're on a different page as far as that's concerned. But Coastal was a team that we recognized win these brackets, and this is no fluke. The Sun Belt is not the SEC, but it's currently the 7th RPI conference in college basketball. And how about me baseball? And because I got basketball on my mind, Bruce, because I'm going to tell you LSU's number 2, which has kind of been a 1A. It's been, the Ianson. You know where they got him from, Brucey? Who was the one mid-major, the mid-major darling of the year this year in college hoops?
No, I mean, who was Will Wade was coaching? McNeese.
No.
That's a good guess, though.
Good guess, but no.
Basketball's a long time ago, Jimmy. I can't think back more than like 2 weeks now, so you have to help me.
La Jolla, California.
Oh, yeah, sure, UCSC. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I don't even think about California now, though. So
all right. Do the Pacers have a chance on Sunday night?
Yes, they do, Jimmy. And I think this is totally up for grabs. And I know Oklahoma City's record here off a loss is really good. I don't think that means a hoot in Game 7 here. I'm watching this series here, and Indiana, to me, looks like it can play with Oak City. Interesting, boys, that, there was an immediate adjustment in the spread when they posted Game 7 after last night's final, 8.5, and quickly dropped down 7.5. So there's some pretty early action on the Pacers side here. This is what, from me watching it here, and I'm sure last night just a throwaway game for Oak City. They've had a couple of those in the playoffs, but it did highlight a couple of things that I would be a little worried about with the Thunder. Namely, Jalen Williams is, as good as he is still apt to. He's still early in his career and could have games like last night where he was a minus 40. That's not too good. They need an SGA MVP. He is probably going to be delivering, and he'll probably play a much better game Sunday than last night. But they need him going full bore, and they need at least one other, and it's been mostly Williams throughout the playoffs. But I'll tell you, they got to be, Holmgren, their acknowledged third scorer, is not having a great series. Neither. Lou Dort's been a little bit in and out. They have less options if their two big guns aren't firing at full capacity. This is what I like about Indiana, that somebody on that in that rotation that Rick Carlisle has, he's got a couple guys who are probably going to be hot in any given game. It might not be Halliburton. He's playing less than 100%. It might not be Siakam, but it could be Obi Toppin. It could be McConnell, who has been dynamite this series. Could be Miles Turner. Neesmith has had his games. There's a lot of different ways for Indiana to go, and there's just a resilience about this team. The fact they've won on the road, and I still maintain, boys, they have been underrating Indiana since the start of the playoffs. I think the only game I didn't play Indiana the entire postseason was Game 2 of the Knicks series. I was going zigzag there, and then Indiana beat me that night, but I think I've been going with them every other time. They have won 10 games outright as an underdog in these playoffs, and that sort of underlines my point. They have been undervalued this entire way, and I know it, 3-3 even in the point spread in this series. They should have won Game 4. That was just a weird thing that happened in the last couple minutes of that game. So I'm taking the Pacers plus the 7.5, and I would not be against playing them on the money line to win this thing if you want a nice price and have some fun on Sunday night.
I think that the zigzag has been very profitable, Bruce. It's now 4-1 in these finals. It's like 25 games over 500. The zigzag would here be taking Oklahoma City minus the points, but man, it's been hot and very much alive in this postseason. The one that lost I mean, Pacers got the ball, a bucket in the last 24 seconds. They backdoor cover, but of course they turned the ball over. So the one that didn't hit was close as well.
Yeah, it was. And, I look back to that game 4, and that's the one that got Oklahoma City back in this series. But darn, I mean, Indiana had that, and just, Matherin missing those free throws. Oklahoma City got 2, extra free throws on the fouls before the ball was inbounded. 12-1 run over the last few minutes. That looked like a certain Indiana cover in game 4.
That's
brutal.
We're trying to move on from that. That's like the Belk Bowl. I mean, that's the NBA's version of the Belk Bowl. Is it? Have you seen a worse beat than that in the NBA?
Well, I probably have, but I can't. Not that comes to mind right now. I mean, that was pretty brutal. I mean, it looked the whole way like 6.5. You're going to win that game with Indiana, and I mean, win it outright, not just cover it. And then that just the last couple of minutes happened. So that stuff can always happen in the NBA. But I do not expect the Thunder to run roughshod like they did over Minnesota in the Game 5 or Denver in the Game 7. That's the one series that kind of comes to mind here where they didn't look good in Game 6, so they came back strong in Game 7. I don't think it's going to be that easy. I think it's going to be a close game Sunday night.
Charlie, I've been making a case this whole finals that Indiana is, it can be competitive. Well, it's Game 7, so I think they've proven that. But I do think Oklahoma City exhaled last night. I think it's really dumb. I think it shows some sign of youth. But I mean, at Game 6, you exhale. I mean, they were not. They're not close to creating the turnovers that they normally do. I think they're playing with a little fire here.
It was the delayed exhale, though, because Indiana didn't score a bucket for the first 4.5 minutes of the game. 4:20, I think it was.
Yeah, Pacers jump out like 12-2 or
they jump out and then they get back in this thing, and then it was like they exhaled in the second quarter.
I just think that the Pacers missed their first 8 shots. I thought they were really slow at the gates, but that thing was a massacre for the most part. Minus that one little 12-2 deficit that the Pacers had to start.
The second quarter, I mean, was a complete walkover. I mean, even the 3 that they hit, they put them up 30, I think, the 3 that they hit.
Oh, they were up 30.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, my gosh, there's no reason to play in the second half.
Yeah, well, then they put, I think late in the third, OKC pulled their starters. Is that right, Bruce?
Maybe a little bit of a push there, but all the turnovers there were. I mean, it just turned. You see that sometimes in Game 6s. I guess the one exception in memory for me is that in '85 the Lakers went back to Boston, and that's when it was the first year 2-3-2, and they changed that later. But Game 6. They actually went back into Boston and won. Now, they were going to have to play Game 7 in Boston in '85, too. But oftentimes, Game 6s, I mean, road teams with a chance to sew it up, sometimes they go a little flat. And I think we saw that last night.
We sure did. Bruce, we know you have to, we're going to tug on your emotions a little bit here, but, I mean, it was a sentimental passing of the torch when the Buss family have released majority ownership of the Los Angeles Lakers. Are you okay?
Sort of. I think there was always the capacity for the Buss clan because and there was actually, I'm trying to divorce myself from my dislike of everything LA.
Oh, okay.
But there was something a little bit endearing about the way they ran that organization. A lot of people think, oh no, they ran like a mom and pop shop, but that's sort of, I thought if you like the Lakers, that's what sort of made them endearing. And because they didn't, and I knew guys who worked with them, like in the stat department and all, and saying you'd be surprised how penurious the organization is. They just don't pay a lot to people who work for them, aside the active players and GM. So I thought there was always a capacity for them to go off the rails. I don't like the thought of the Walter Group coming in here and trying to make this thing like a Dodgers of the NBA. Although the NBA is different than Major League Baseball, you can't just go out. They've got a salary cap. You can't just go out and do what the Dodgers did with baseball structured differently. But here's my thought. Jeannie will not – this won't go for much more than a year with Jeannie as the governor. That's sort of a symbolic thing. We saw Mark Cuban was supposed to do the same thing in Dallas after he sold his majority share. That didn't last too long. Pelinka's probably got another year. I think he's got a contract extension out another year. I think he eventually gets probably moved aside. Same thing maybe with J.J. Redick. LeBron, he's got this player option for this year. I think he probably opts in, but that's it. This next year is going to be it for this.
Okay.
The Lakers who've known him, and then they'll change. So I'm a little sad to see the buses go. I really am.
Well, if you favor mom and pop run professional organizations, I introduce you to the New Orleans Saints.
This is well, I was going to say. I thought you were going to say the Pelicans. This was depressing as hell to me when I looked into it yesterday, because they had an article about how the Lakers had been run such as a mom and pop, and I'll just give you a couple of highlights. They lost out on Tyronn Lue as head coach over $6 million, which you wouldn't think would mean anything to the Lakers. They applied for the Paycheck Protection Program during COVID. The Lakers did this, okay? They wouldn't approve an assistant coach to stay at the same hotel as the player he was working out in the offseason because the room was too expensive. And I'm like, the Lakers have still been competitive. They spent the eighth most in salary, but they have skimped on everything else. Their analytics department, their staffing, their front office is not layered. For years it was Mitch Kupchak and nobody else. If they've been winning with that.
And who's the best team in the NBA this year?
Oklahoma City, yeah.
Okay. The local rights they get, the Lakers, as much as Oklahoma City makes in a year with their local rights,
yeah,
the Lakers make it a week.
Yeah, it's a $3 billion local TV deal with Spectrum.
And they're skimping.
Yeah, and they're skimping. So it's like the reason it's so depressing to me is twofold. Number one, they've been winning, doing it like this. Put some money into the thing. Oh my God, how good are they going to be? And the other thing is, this is so far removed from what New Orleans is doing. I mean, you saw the thing with DeJounte Murray, the podcast last week, where he's like, I've never seen a team do business like this. And Joe Dumars saying, we need to do things in a first-class manner. And you just know that they're doing everything on the cheap down there. They won't pay the luxury tax. It's like you're playing in two different leagues. It's like the Lakers and some of these other teams are playing in the NBA, and the Pelicans are playing in some version of the CBA, the old CBA or the G League or whatever you want to call it. It reminds me of when I went to Tennessee in the late 90s for a football game and looked at their operation compared to what LSU was doing. I'm like, man, these two teams ain't even playing the same flipping sport right now. And that's how far the gap was.
Brucey, we appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. You enjoy the weekend. We'll talk to you next week.
Have fun, boys. Thank you.
All right. Yes, indeed. Don't forget our friends at United Community Bank, the local way to bank big, with locations from Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow. We've been serving the people of Southern Louisiana for over 50 years. Our great team of bankers, Prentice Wilkes, Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Hunter Creed, David Campbell, and David Henry, put together a great staff over there. United Community Bank, stop on by and see our group of bankers and discuss how we can help your business today. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Live at Ruffino's, live at lunch, 145 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Sun is shining on this beautiful Friday in Baton Rouge. Matt Moscona coming to you live from Rouse's, corner of Burbank and Lee in Baton Rouge. And it is lunchtime, y'all. And, man, they are serving up the goods. You can get here on Full Slab Friday for $11.99. How about that? And if you're getting ready for baseball this weekend, Rouse's is the spot for everything that you need. How about this? They got a 20 count of chicken wings for $12.99. 20 wings for just $12.99. Grab and go. They're already boiled, fried. Come with 3 dipping sauces. So come on by. All your beverages, adult beverages, everything for the kid, your chips, your dips, all of it. They got it, and a cool dessert table, purple and gold themed. You'll see it when you walk in. We're here at Rouse's. Come on by. Burbank and Lee, play our Plinko game, win some great prizes, and hang out with us at the corner of Burbank and Lee. From Rouse's, this feels like home.
You've heard me talk about Workbox services and how they can handle all of your movable storage needs for both commercial and residential. With our shipping containers of all sizes, customized in any way that you need or desire. Now Martin Padial has expanded his coverage outside the Baton Rouge area. Workbox can now service the Gulf Coast and New Orleans areas all the way to Lake Charles. Our staff at Workbox continues to grow with Hannah, Martin Jr., Brandy, and Chris. Do like I did when I needed a movable storage unit. Call Workbox at 343
4886 or workboxllc.com. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road since 1988. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games in a casual atmosphere with the friendliest service. Right now we're boiling crawfish 7 days a week, Monday through Friday. First batch comes out at 5 p.m., weekends at noon. Sammy serves a wide mix of authentic Louisiana food prepared to order with the best ingredients available. Fresh Louisiana seafood, Cajun favorites, burgers, and po' boys, all built from scratch. Our kids' menu and popular appetizers are sure to please the pickiest of eaters. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road near Starring since 1988.
Congratulations are in order for one of my favorite places to eat, Snow Seafood and Steaks, celebrating its 50th anniversary. That's right, since 1971, Snow's has been serving a wide assortment of menu items to please everyone. Steaks, seafood, gumbo, homemade soup, salads, specialty cocktails, great wine selection, and oh yes, the best white chocolate bread pudding that you'll find anywhere. It's the total dining experience. Happy 50th anniversary to my friends at Snow Seafood and Steak, Airline Highway at Highway 74 in Gonzales. By now you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crowntown Room at Dozy Place. The Crowntown Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with a sriracha glaze for the perfect blend of sweet and spicy. You can't go wrong also with the flash fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Dozy Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
This is Charles Henniger. For total maintenance for AC and heating, generators, electricity, and plumbing, Total Maintenance is your one-stop sales and service shop for all of these needs. Service today, every day. That's their slogan at Total Maintenance, so nobody ever has to go to sleep hot. Over the years, Total Maintenance has expanded into the New Orleans area, as well as their offices in Baton Rouge with full staffs in both markets. Call 480-1000 in Baton Rouge or in New Orleans, 841-3300. Service today, every day at Total Maintenance.
At Town Square Pizza, we take pride in serving Baton Rouge with fresh, delicious, piping hot, personalized pizza with unmatched speed. Whether you're a downtown worker, a family looking for convenience and value, or an out-of-towner staying at one of the nearby hotels, Town Square Pizza is the spot for you. Try a specialty pizza like the Spanish Town Supreme or custom build your own. Family packs, kids' meals, and salads are available as well. It's hip to be square at Town Square Pizza, downtown facing. What else? Town Square.
Live at lunch with Odd and Annie from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
And return here at Ruffino's Live at Lunch. We're also brought to you by Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. Let Philip Fontenot and his staff do for you what they've done for our family, which is can you feel a little bit secure about your financial future, your retirement, to find where you are at this particular stage in your life, no matter what age, what your income level, and work out a plan that makes sense for you, that'll get you to all your financial goals. They'll work with your business partners. They'll work with your legal team. They'll work with any tax professionals to make sure all your goals are achieved in retirement. They'll work for you a lifetime relationship. That's exactly what they've done for our family. Talk to Philip Fontenot and his staff, 337-981-1376, online. It's coastalcapitaladv.com. Coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, member FINRA, SIPC. On the call for LSU and Coastal Carolina will be Kyle Peterson, number one guy over at ESPN. Had a chance to catch up with him earlier on his thoughts about LSU's path to the finals and the matchup with Coastal Carolina.
Kyle, I don't quite know how to frame this first question, but I'll just do it like this. With a day to digest it now, what are your takeaways from the game between LSU and Arkansas? Because of all the games we've seen in Omaha, this one will stand out for a bunch of reasons.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, I think what gets lost in it, and that's fine, is the job that Cowan and Beidelshees did when I'm not sure that anybody knew exactly what they were going to get at the beginning, and it kind of set the stage for something amazing at the end. I mean, we thought, game's going to be decided from a pitching standpoint by the bullpens, but we also thought that the bullpens were going to be the strength of the game from a pitching standpoint, and it kind of flipped when you go look at the numbers. I don't know, man. I mean, I think one of the best things about covering this sport and doing it for the time frame that I have is when you continue to see things that you haven't seen before. And there was a variety of things last night that I had not seen before. In the 8th and 9th inning, I mean, you kind of forget about the Helfrich situation a little bit when Jones dropped the ball at first base and it was not an easy play, but it was a play that he generally is going to make because of everything that happened afterwards. But that's what started the craziness. Then he hits the home run, and Thomas gets a 2-out single that you think, okay, Arkansas is in the spot they want to be. They have Gackle out there, and then, whatever happened in the 9th, I don't know the best way to describe it, but 3 or 4 plays that end up turning it. I do think the one thing that's overlooked a little bit ninth inning is Robinette vacating first base with 1 out. And if he stays home, there's a chance to get Curiel saying get 2 outs, nobody on, and the inning is totally different. But he vacates, they don't have enough time to cover, and then obviously everything happened after that.
You were on with Scott Van Pelt after the game, and when you were just talking a minute ago, you said having covered the sport as long as you have, been in the sport as long as you have, you said LSU's built just a little bit different. I want to give you a chance to expound on that because I think I know where you were going with that, but just kind of what you were getting at with that statement.
I think and maybe they're just more publicized. I don't know, but there's such a history of crazy comeback wins and weird stuff associated, whether it's a possum or starting games at 10 o'clock and ending at 1:15 and walking people off during the season. And historically, just go all the way back. I mean, all the way back to Warren Morris, I guess. But I don't know if there's another program that wins more in games that you don't think they're going to win, more than LSU, and the ways that they do it are pretty numerous. So from a built different standpoint, I think the vast majority of the teams think that they're going to win. I think for whatever reason, and I think it's history and culture and fan base and a variety of other things that LSU is convinced that they're going to win in big games. And when they don't, it's just a total shock. Where for a lot of other places, I think if they do win, maybe it's a little bit more of a shock. So that was kind of it's a long-winded explanation, I guess, of what I meant. But it's just, it's a different place when it comes to the game of baseball. And I think expectations, not always, but in many ways have turned into reality, which is very rare.
When you look at this current LSU baseball team going into the championship series, biggest reasons you think they'll win it and biggest reasons you think they might not?
Well, to start, I think one of the biggest reasons they could win it is because you got, 2 of the top 3 strikeout guys in the country going over the course of the weekend. So for me, it's as good a 1-2 punch as there is. Now, Coastal's not too far behind, to be fair, but so I start with that, to where you've got a kid that could be the first pick in the draft this year, and Anthony Ianson that can go out and dominate a lineup, and then an offense that continues to get more confidence, a bullpen that I think has gotten considerably better and probably more understood over the course of the year, which is normal. I mean, very few start with kind of the same bullpen roles in February that they end with, but ultimately I think those roles right now for LSU it's the talent that you want to be running out there. But I still start with Anderson and Ianson. I think that the 1-2 is as good as anybody, and it gives you a little bit more of a margin of error because those guys have been so consistent.
Coastal Carolina comes in with a 26-game winning streak, which is ridiculous. It's unheard of to win that many games at any level, and they've done things that even SEC teams haven't been able to do. Winning 2 straight at Auburn, LSU didn't do that, Vanderbilt didn't do that. But Kyle, what really impresses me is when this team comes out there, if you took the Coastal Carolina uniforms off of them and you put an SEC or an ACC uniform on, they they're the same. They got two starting pitchers in Jacob Morrison and Cameron Flukie, who are 6'8" and 6'6", and they look just like Chase Shores and Maverick Rizzi. So when you look at this team, things that impress you the most about Coastal Carolina, why they might win it or might not.
I think I said it on Van Pelt last night. I said it somewhere, but they remind me a lot of Augie's teams, where there may not be a bunch of offensive stats that jump off the board from a power standpoint. From others, there are, and they play an offensive ballpark too. So, it is not a team that has top to bottom a ton of power, but yet they lean over the plate. It's part of their identity. They lead the country in hit by pitches. They're patient. They're really aggressive on the base pass. They have defended extremely well all year. They have an elite catcher. And they got a pitching staff that's second in the country in ERA in a small ballpark that has proven in the postseason that there's zero fluke associated with it. There's stuff, there's matchup stuff, there's depth in the bullpen. So I don't, aside from just pure power, I don't see a lot of weaknesses. Now, what I don't see are a couple 9-8 games. I think these are fairly low scoring, one or two defensive plays that are made or aren't made could potentially determine who wins. But it's a style that I love. And I think both sides, listen, at Jay's core, that's who Jay is. Like, Jay is that type of coach. The force you to defend differently and force you to think. So I think just philosophically, it's a really cool matchup. And then, if the wind's blowing out, the ballpark plays small, then I think it's definitely advantage LSU because there's a little bit more power and there's some more swing and miss. But ultimately, Coastal's, they're really good, man. Like, this isn't some neat story. They've made a run. Now they're going to run into LSU and turn around and hide. They're not. They're plenty good to win this thing. Whether they will, hell, I have no idea. But I know that from a matchup standpoint, I don't think there's a huge advantage either way.
I heard you say that about Augie, and I asked this question a while back. Is Coastal Carolina the modern day equivalent of Cal State Fullerton in the 90s and into the 2000s? Because it wasn't, when you played Cal State Fullerton at that time, it wasn't, oh, we're getting a mid-major. It was, oh, crap, here come the Titans, because they were as good as anybody. Is Coastal Carolina, now through two coaches and through well into the NIL era, are right here playing for a national championship? Or is that a good comparison to the Fullerton teams of the 90s?
I think this team is. I don't know. The sustained success that Fullerton had was significantly more over time as far as trips to Omaha and what Augie did. And then onward, not just Augie, but after he left. But I think it could be. Yeah, I think if you fast forward 10, 15 years, potentially, it could be. I think this, and this is not a typical historical Coastal team. They usually hit a bunch of home runs because that's the way they've recruited and that's the way their ballpark plays. Now, this is just a little bit different team. There's some thump. It's not that there's none, but there's not as much as LSU has. And honestly, this is not like one of the better power teams LSU's ever had. When you look at it historically, I think Arkansas was a better power hitting team than LSU was. But that being said, yeah, I think it's a fair comparison for this year for sure, and I think it's a fair aspiration, I guess, moving forward for Coastal that they've shown it can be done. And I would be surprised. I don't know if it's sustained at this level, but I would be surprised if it's not sustained. And to some extent, it has been for the last 10 years. I know they haven't been back here, but they've caused a lot of people a lot of problems and been in the postseason essentially every year. So what Gilly did and now what Kevin Schnall has continued is pretty impressive in our landscape.
And that was Kyle Peterson. Got a chance to catch up with him yesterday afternoon. They're in some production meetings today, but had a chance to talk to him. I got some follow-ups we'll talk with Jimmy about when we come back from the break.
I want to because we want to clarify what Coastal is doing, what they can do, what's being enforced as far as the hit batsmen and stuff like that, and also some follow-ups on talking about their style of play, which is so unusual. All their numbers for the part that they play in. It is different. Don't forget our friends at Los Reyes Mexican Grill on Lee, right across from Mike Anderson's, just off of Nicholson. You know, more and more people have been trying out Los Reyes for the first time and say, man, it's good, man, it's good. It's really nice in there. It's clean. They got the staff is friendly. They put on the games that you want. They got 3 TVs. They got a happy hour. That's 2:30 to 6:30, 7 days a week. You know, fajitas are outstanding. I like to either get the fajita steak or the fajita chicken with my tacos, burritos, different type of sauces on it, you name it. And, you know, kind of a house specialty, too, their gyro tacos, which I know Fadinky likes a lot. So go check them out, man. It is a casual atmosphere, friendly service, clean operation, quality food, and you don't get that sticker shock when you get your bill as well. Los Reyes Mexican Grill on Lee, just across from Mike Anderson's.
Live at Ruffino's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Do you know what you would do if you were in a car wreck? It's easy to panic when you or someone you care about is hurt in an accident. Who will pay the medical bills? Who will pay the car repair? Who will deal with the insurance companies for you? Protect your rights. You need someone you can trust. Call the law offices of O.C. Brown at 343-1111. The law offices of O.C. Brown will handle everything for you. 343-1111 or online at ocbrown.com. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
The new location of Los Reyes Mexican Grill on Wesley across from Mike Anderson's. Man, the place looks great. Lots of indoor and outdoor seating options with plenty of big TVs to watch all your favorite games. All of the traditional Mexican cuisine with a great happy hour, 2:30 to 6:30, 7 days a week. Plus $5 margaritas all day, all night on Wednesdays. Great spot to bring the baseball team in between games. Just 5 minutes north of Traction and 5 minutes south of LSU. Los Reyes Mexican Grill, 1072 West Lee, near Nicholson.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Ruffino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit ruffinosrestaurant.com. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Now, everybody's been to Louis Cafe by campus. Heck, it's been around since over 80 years now. We're still doing delicious omelets like the Mitchell, cheesy grits, Big Cheesy Lou, and those Louis Original Cajun hash browns. We now offer a pickup window. Just call in your order at 346-8221. Give us 15 or 20 minutes, and we'll have it ready for you. Our hours are now 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., 7 days a week. So next time you visit campus, make it a point to stop by and visit an old friend. Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. When it comes to retirement, there are no two situations alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you, your business partners, your legal team, and tax professionals to make sure those goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his great staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Running a business can be difficult enough without the right relationship with your bank. With United Community Bank's local business bankers, you're not just a number, you're a partner. Contact Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Thunder Creed, David Campbell, or David Henry to discuss how we can help your business today. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Locations from Baton Rouge to Goldie Meadow. We've been serving the people of Southern Louisiana for over 60 years. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Go Automotive has a great selection of new cars. Chevy, GMC, Hummer, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. You rather a pre-owned vehicle? Using our resources will help find you any vehicle that you're looking for. Our service department offers VIP service. You never have to come to the dealership. We'll pick up the vehicle at your home or office, drop off a loaner, service the vehicle, and return it when it's done. Mention my name, Jimmy Ott, for VIP pricing. The Chevy Tahoe I drive came from Go Automotive. That's Go Automotive in LaPlace and Plaquemine.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net. Live at lunch with Odd and Hanny from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
And we return here at Ruffino's. Today's show also brought to you by the Thibodaux Store, 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodaux. You get your yard in shape right now on the website at thethibodeaustore.com. Up to 40% off of your trimmers and accessories, up to 40% up on your garden hoses and your garden tools. Lots of outdoor furniture, patio furniture is available right now at pretty significant discounts at thethibodeaustore.com. Plus, you can get all of your key cutting, your paint matching, propane services, screen and glass repair, spreaders and seeders, outdoor power equipment, and, of course, outdoor cooking, all available at the Thibodaux Store, their sister property, the Pierre Part Store down in Pierre Part and 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodaux. Open until 5:30 p.m. in Thibodaux and online, thethibodeaustore.com. Jimmy, I probably where I want to start with what a couple of things Kyle said was the hit by pitch. Okay, a few things here. Number one, in the 3 games, Coastal has been hit 3 times that they have taken the base. So once a game, that's not any big stat. 170 plus times for the year. They lead the nation in that category. We have seen a couple of times where the umpires have been asked from the dugout to take a look at plays involving a hit batter. The most, got the most publicity was the one in the 9th inning of Gage Wood's no-hitter because that ended up being a strike, which ended up being the 3rd strike, which ended up being the 2nd out. You got to think that Jay Johnson's going to be all over this thing. He's going to say if they move into this thing, and the umpire 3 times now we've seen in this World Series where they've called a batter for moving into a pitch and it ended up being a strike. I think that's something to watch.
First of all, it's a strike. It's not an out.
But it was an out for the Wood thing because it was the 3rd strike. Yes, it's not.
That's what I was getting to saying. Yeah. What all 3 instances, there was 2 strikes on the batter.
Okay, I didn't remember the other 2. Okay.
Yes. Okay. So it's a strike. It's not an out. But if you don't know, you can interpret. Well, they call him out. The first 2 were upheld. The Gage Wood was a reversal. But all 3 times they looked at it, they ruled that it was an intentional hit batsman.
Did one of those other ones, was a Coastal game, or was it a different game? Do you remember? I don't.
Coastal was one of them. I
know it was Murray State that appealed on the Wood one. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I just wondered if you would
no, Murray State, didn't they give them the base and they took it away? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that was the one reversal. The other 2 were upheld.
Okay.
And I thought really to the point where, man, I could go either way on it, because the rule, you don't have to get out of the way. You can just hold your ground, but you can't lean in at all. And it was real subtle. Which tells you these umpiring crews have been alerted by the opposing teams for Coastal coming in already. So, sure, Johnson is going to alert, but they've already been alerted. I think it's a little bit of an overemphasis of it, to be honest, because. But they're going to hold their ground, and it's what they
like
do.
Peterson said they're going to lean over the plate. Okay, as much as hold your ground. A lot of people hold their ground. They're leaning over the plate.
He said that. I don't see that as much. They're close, but they're not leaning over the plate.
Well, I think when he said, not
that's
literally,
an expression.
Yes.
Okay,
exactly,
but I want to. Yes, are they leaning closer to the plate than most? 100%. Are they leaning over the plate? No.
No, not all the way over the plate. No, it's a figure speech.
But you don't have to move.
No, you don't.
So that's the thing. The MLB. I bring that up because the MLB rule is you have to try and get out of the way.
Yeah, and that is very subjective. You're allowed to turn your back.
But the MLB is, and like this for a month, it's not really enforced.
Correct.
Well, this thing is being enforced. So
and it hasn't
that's
been
part
all
of it.
year.
But you say, if you're screaming at the TV, just know the rule. They don't have to get out of the way. They just can't move in. And so it's being enforced. It's rules are rules, but until you enforce them, points of emphasis are, there you go. The other thing is, it is so this coastal thing, because the strength of their team is their pitching. The thing about Augie's Park at Fullerton and like Long Beach, which were right basically next to each other in the Orange County area of Los Angeles, those play big. Those parks play big. They play small ball. They always knew how to bunt and field bunts. But it was more small ball because of the dimensions in how their parks played. This park in Conway is very hitting friendly. The team that came through Baton Rouge in 16, we couldn't get them out. I mean, they just kept hitting. I mean, it was constant traffic, Charlie. I mean, it's against some good pitchers.
They still ain't got that cat with the beard out.
I mean, it's
390 to straightaway center, and it's 325, I think, down the lines in Conway. That's small, even by SEC standards. That's a small park. The fields you're talking about, I called games at Long Beach. Not only is Blair Field big, but it's 6-8 blocks off the ocean. The ball doesn't carry worth a damn.
And part of these gaudy numbers pitching is they're not putting those up in the SEC. I'll get you that. But it's still, this is totally different from what you would expect.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, Coastal's really good this year. Okay, what they're going to be, they probably bat 1-9. Or, the guys are batting 8 and 9, they're going to make you throw, 8-9 pitches in that bat. Something like that. No, they got arms for days.
Yeah.
Huh? It's just different.
It's
man.
not Stony Brook that put together one team. This is a program now. And those guys have swing and miss stuff. Morrison and Flukie, they're over 100 strikeouts apiece. Okay.
Well, the Stony Brook team had prospects.
They did.
One
time. They put one team
together.
together.
No, it was a cyclical thing. Yeah, well, they're in New York. I mean,
they're not supposed to be a
It's
college
easier to get some
baseball
reps
power.
in South Carolina
Yes.
than in New York. But they have clearly, South Carolina at a stretch, Charlie, they went back-to-back. Were they 1-1A? Did they take over LSU for a little bit as the top program in the country? They ain't the best in their state.
Not right now. They're not. No, they're not.
For a
close.
stretch now. When's the last time South Carolina's been to Omaha?
Tanner's last year, Tanner's last championship, which was 11, I believe.
So that was 15 years ago because he won the last one at Rosenblatt and the first one at TD Ameritrade.
That's right. It was 10 and 11.
So 15 years ago.
Yeah,
this team's been to to a regional 15 out of 17 years. So I know South Carolina, they're clearly better, and they have been better, and now they're really getting the attention of a lot of people in South Carolina, but all over the damn country. I think it's going to be a great series, and I thought you made a great point on the podcast earlier today that we did. We're going to do another one live at Monday at 9. Charlie's grandchildren are excited about that. So but neither team is compromised. Let's see them best on best, because if one team had to play an extra game, there were going to be one team without Anderson, one team without Morrison. Man, that's a big difference.
If LSU would have had to play Thursday, I would consider them the underdog in this series. Now that everybody's at full strength, I consider them the favorite. One more quick number before we go to break. Anthony Ianson in 101 innings pitched has hit 4 batters. Cade Anderson in 110 innings pitched has hit 3. Kason Evans in 52 innings has hit 5. So it's not been a big problem for LSU's top 3 arms there as far as hit batsmen.
Last time LSU played in a championship game, big boy leaned into the first one, huh?
He turned around and hit him right. They were replaying that last night. I saw it again. He turned around and hit him right in the square of the back, right between the numbers.
He wasn't moving.
No, definitely not. All right, we'll take a break. Come back, wrap things up here at Ruffino's. Live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
The gift cards are gone, but we're not going anywhere yet. We're here until 1 o'clock. Matt Moscona coming to you from Rouse's Burbank and Lee. Getting you.
Whenever you're ready.
All right, I got you. Hold on.
Squeaky's going away party at Big Mike's. Have some fun with it.
You really want me to put that in a promo?
You think Big Mike's cares?
Oh, okay. All right.
It's supposed to be a big crowd. Squeaky's going away.
This is Charles Handegriff. Join us for the Monday edition of Live at Lunch from Big Mike's in Denham Springs. The College World Series, where are we? The NBA Finals are done, and it's Squeaky's going away party. Live at Big Mike's, live at lunch, 11 a.m. Monday on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Burbank and Lee. Matt Moscona coming to you live from Rouse's on Burbank until 1 o'clock, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
If you're near the north side of campus, I need to remind you about a couple of longtime favorites. Highland Coffee's the original specialty coffee shop in Baton Rouge since the 1980s. My personal favorite, love getting my cappuccino from their friendly, knowledgeable staff, roasted right in the shop. Louis Cafe for breakfast and lunch 7 days a week. The Mitchell omelet, Cajun hash browns, Big Cheesy Lou, all served up in that famous open kitchen atmosphere. In Tigertown since 1941. A couple of great spots, Highland Coffee's and Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU.
We're here to examine things that get better with age, like this bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild, vintage 1877. Age can make things more valuable, like this Picasso from his blue period, 1904. And treasured, like this Roto-Rooter jingle, 1954.
Roto-Rooter jingle?
Just listen to it.
Oh, Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And the wind go trebles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
A timeless melody.
Roto-Rooter?
The lithe arrangement.
But it's a clog-busting company.
Wrong there. Roto-Rooter has grown into more than a clog-busting company. They're North America's largest full-service plumber and drain cleaner. And when you need Roto-Rooter, remembering this jingle can be priceless.
Roto-Rooter.
For all of your plumbing and drainage solutions, call Roto-Rooter in Baton Rouge at 925-8710. That's 925-8710.
We're here to examine things that get better with age, like this bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild, vintage 1877. Age can make things more valuable, like this Picasso from his blue period, 1904. And treasured, like this Roto-Rooter jingle, 1954.
Roto-Rooter jingle?
Just listen to it.
Oh, Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And the wind go trebles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
A timeless melody.
Roto-Rooter?
The lithe arrangement.
But it's a clog-busting company.
Wrong there. Roto-Rooter has grown into more than a clog-busting company. They're North America's largest full-service plumber and drain cleaner. And when you need Roto-Rooter, remembering this jingle can be priceless.
Roto-Rooter.
For all of your plumbing and drainage solutions, call Roto-Rooter in Baton Rouge at 925-8710. That's 925-8710.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
Live at lunch with Odd and Hanny from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Earlier today, the Chanticleers, we've gotten corrected on the pronouns there, named Cameron Flukie as their starter for Game 1. I want to go back. This goes back to May the 8th with Coastal Carolina keeping Jacob Morrison, their ace, on full rest. They had a Thursday, Friday, Saturday weekend against ULM. They kept him on Friday. The following weekend, they played Old Dominion. They had a Thursday, Friday weekend. They kept him on Friday. The Sun Belt tournament, they didn't have a game on the Friday, so they pitched him on Saturday, which I'm thinking was the marble game of that. Not that they were, all in on that. He pitched a Saturday game. That set him up for full week's rest for the marble game of the regional Saturday against East Carolina. So when they got to the super regional, they kept him on full rest and pitched a Saturday game, which was the second game of the Auburn Super Regional. When they got to Omaha, did they bring him back on Friday for Game 1? They did not. They held him for Game 2, which was Sunday. It seems to me they've gone out of their way to put him on full rest, and I think that's what they're doing again here. Is it risky? You tell me.
But I thought there was a little strategy that could have been as well, and that is, Arizona was not as formidable of an opponent as Oregon State was.
Correct, and they used the second and third starters to get through.
I want to slay the biggest dragon with my ace.
Yeah. So they got all of that accomplished, and Fluky pitched in that game against Arizona. He only pitched 4 innings there, so he had a pretty good game. He 4 innings, 2 runs. He only threw 71 pitches. So, look, everybody's rested, locked and loaded, whatever moniker you want to use here. This is best on best, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Tomorrow at 6, Sunday at 1:30, and Monday night at 6:30 if it is.
Glad they're not going up against a Game 7 on Sunday night.
Yeah, Game 7 of the NBA Finals is on Sunday night.
Crawfish egg rolls, tuna tostadas. The appetizer features today and through the weekend here at Ruffino's. Pork chop a la vodka.
30.
That is outstanding. Pan-seared redfish, pecan pie seduction. Charlie, keep your comments to yourself.
Our podcast is up. The Handycast is up, plus the Sports Bettors Paradise podcast with me and Jimmy betting the College World Series is up right now. You can check those things out. For Max, who is ailing, for Jimmy, for Jordan back in the studio, I'm Charles Hanniger saying thank you and good afternoon. Stay tuned for Hunt Palmer on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
All right, Jordan, thank you.
All right, see you, Hanny. Y'all have a good weekend.
You too.
Retirement savings will last. The market's ups and downs can keep